Hey, this is CB Smallwood, and you're watching Wildcat Behind the Page. All right, guys, here we are in the refrigerator. That is my studio, the deep freeze. And let's see, what progress do I got to report? Well, you saw hopefully, most of you got to see the double splash page that that I inked last episode. I'm having trouble with my English today, and and I think yesterday and a little bit today I was inking. I think it's page 7, and it's pretty much done. And I'm going to show you that in this episode now. Um, Before I do, I guess I'll just kind of relay whatever random thoughts I got going on, and that pretty much I'm just optimistic, very optimistic about the progress of the book, the look of the book. I feel like the I feel like my inks are doing it justice so far. You know, I'm not really mucking things up too bad, because there's always a risk anytime you ink something that you're just gonna kind of muck up the original spirit of it when it's in pencils, you know. Um, and just thinking a little bit about the second issue. Now, if you go back a couple of episodes, and you look at the video, it's got a thumbnail of a notebook in front of it. I actually did an outline of the first 5 or 6 issues of Wildcat in that. Now, all that stuff's kind of tentative, nothing really set in stone, but you know, I have been thinking about the second issue, and the only thing that I can say for sure is that I want to really um, amp it up. You know, I want to get better. You know, I want to be more consistent with how I render characters. I want to draw with more confidence, and I want to take um, not so much bigger risk. I don't think that's the right word. What I want to do is like I want things to be larger in life, and I really want to uh, people to look at the second issue and be like, wow, this guy's really stepped up his game. So that's part of what I'm, thinking, or I've been thinking about. And I guess, you know, I'm going blank again. I'm sorry. But I've been thinking about, after I get done with the inks and stuff, that I'm going to spend some, really some personal time to really work on my craft. Uh, the way that I render women, the way I draw them, just my style overall, which I think I'm pretty much there. Um, Still need some work. I'm not saying that I got it all figured out, and really need to start studying perspective and stuff, because as the first issue draws to a close, the second, third, and fourth issues are going to require me to do more perspective, you know. And here I've just cheated the whole issue, because it's nothing but like trees and stuff, so you can get away with a lot with that, in my opinion. But when it comes to like buildings and cars and rooms and stuff like that, it's a lot more noticeable, in my opinion, if your perspective is wrong. So that's something I got to work on. And then anatomy, work on my anatomy. So I'm really wanting to work on this stuff um, in between finishing the first issue and starting the second issue. And I don't think I'm going to spend too long on it, maybe a month or two, really, really, really working hard to get some stuff figured out, doing lots of sketches, and I don't know what that entails. I don't want to lay down a bunch of rules and stuff on myself just yet, but I have been thinking a lot about that. And so, the second issue, something else I want to mention is for those of you that are still interested, because I know sometimes in these videos I can get kind of long winded, and I don't want to bore everybody to death. I promise, I will show some art, and if you're already getting bored, just fast forward till you see the art, okay? But what I'm thinking about with the second issue is I want to put a little bit more of a manga anime influence. Not so much stylistically in terms of how I render characters and that sort of thing, but like this. You see this? Like, see how the hand is big in the foreground, and then my head's small in the background, or like trying to do a good pose here. See that? See how it's big, and then the arm gets smaller up to the shoulder, and then there's a small head. Where things kind of leap out into the camera. So I want to kind of play with that a little bit, because it looks cool. It's a pretty cool effect. You don't see that too often in comics. It's not rare, but you don't see that a lot. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got to report. So let's go ahead and let's head over to the artboard and let me show you. I think it's page 7 inks, and then I'll show you the page I'll be inking after that. It's like I got a burp, but and cough at the same time. That's weird. So here we are, page 7. I haven't quite got everything, erased yet as far as like the original pencils, but this is a photocopy, so it's a little hard to erase pencil lines, that are photocopied. But you can sort of do it. You can make them fade, and I haven't started on that yet. But so this ink job is 98% finished. Other than just erasing a few spots here and there, I gotta ink this guy. So what I was going to do is I was going to take me a pencil and just kind of figure out what I didn't take the time to figure out when I was drawing it, and then I'll go and ink it. Overall, I am happy with the inks. No, not happy. I'm satisfied, I guess. Can you guess what my favorite panel is on this whole page? Alright. Well, my favorite panel is this one. I don't know. Just everything really comes together for me, even though this is the world's crappiest gun and just that whole angle and stuff's just all wrong. That's my favorite panel on this whole page. I don't know why. It just looks good to my eye, And you would think maybe this would be my favorite panel, but there's just it looks good. I think, in my opinion, it looks good, but it's just not jiving with me, for some reason. And when I inked it, if you guys can remember, it's pretty much when I shaded it, I just did a bunch of lines, instead of like a full shading. And that line effect kind of in some ways looks a lot cooler than the full-on blacks. And but then again, the full-on blacks have their own charm too. some of the hair strands that I added in the white gel pen worked, and some didn't. Which I could always fix that with whiteout, but you know, I'm satisfied with it. I think it looks good overall. I like to hear your all's thoughts. You know, I mean, I don't know, but I'm done with this page, I think, I guess. Well, you know, with the exception of that and just erasing a little thing here and there. The next page that I'll be working on is this one. And this is one of my favorite pages because this is page 8, and it has more stuff in it that I actually like. I love this panel, love this panel, love this panel. Yeah, you know, I ain't too high on this panel, but at the same time, you know, I did a fairly decent job rendering, you know, these guys here. They still need some work, but whatever. But you know, it looks pretty good, and I'm looking forward to inking this page. I think it's going to look neat. So anyway, that's where we're at, and 7 pages in now with my inking job. As always, if you enjoy these videos, or if you just want to show your support, please remember to give it a thumb up or a like. And please remember to subscribe or follow if you want to keep up to date to all my latest shenanigans. And as always, this is CB Smallwood, and you've been watching Wildcat Behind the Page.